Hi, just another quick one on front organisations. I've already seen this bit in the last end of the last video, but I'm just going to go through it again quickly. Um, this article is about a particular use of the term connected with intelligence gathering, organised crime, and religious or political groups for covert organisations. See covert operations. A front organisation is any entity set up by and controlled by another organisation, such as intelligence agencies, organised crime groups, banned organisations, religious or political groups, advocacy groups, or corporations. Front organisations can act for the parent group without the actions being attributed to the parent group, thereby allowing them to hide from public view. Front organisations that appear to be independent, voluntary associations or charitable organisations are called front groups. In the business world, front organisations such as front companies or shell companies are used to shield the parent company from legal liability. In international relations, a puppet state is a state which acts as a front or surrogate for another state. Intelligence agencies use front organisations to provide cover, plausible occupations, and means of income for their covert agents. These may include legitimate organisations such as charity, religious, or journalism organisations, or brass plate firms, which exist solely to provide a plausible background story, occupation, and means of income. The airline Air America, an outgrowth of Civil Air Transport of the 1940s, and Southern Air Transport, ostensibly a civilian air charter company, were operated and wholly owned by the CIA, supposedly to provide humanitarian aid, but flew many combat support missions and supplied covert operations in Southeast Asia during the Vietnam War. Other CIA-funded front groups have been used to spread American propaganda and influence during the Cold War, particularly in the Third World. When intelligence agencies work through legitimate organisations, it can cause problems and increased risk for the workers of those organisations. To prevent this, the CIA has had a 20-year policy since 1976, per US government sources, of not using Peace Corps members or US journalists for intelligence purposes. But that's probably changed by now. They probably, you know what I mean? It's probably something different now. It's not just America. The CIA is Britain as well. It's all the countries are doing it. Yeah. So if anyone starts and says something, you know what I mean? I'm not picking on a certain country or all like that. All countries. The UK, Russia, China, America, France, Germany, every country. We'll be here all day going through all the name of all the countries, but every country does the same thing. Yeah. I know I'm not doing anything wrong by doing this. I'm just pointing out what's already out there, what anyone can find and see. Yeah. Got nothing against anybody. I don't hate anybody or anything like that. I stick to my morals. I cause no loss or harm to any man, woman, or child. Another airline allegedly involved in intelligence operations was Russian Aeroflot, that worked in a close coordination with KGB, SVR, and GRU. The company conducted forcible evacuations of Soviet citizens from foreign countries back to the USSR. People whose loyalty was questioned were drugged and delivered unconscious by Aeroflot planes assisted by the company KGB personnel. According to the former GRU officer Viktor Surovov, in the 1980s and 1990s, specimens of deadly bacteria and viruses stolen from Western laboratories were delivered by Aeroflot to support the Russian program of biological weapons. This delivery channel encoded excuse me, Volna Wave meant delivering the material via an international flight of the Aeroflot airline in the pilot's cabin, where one of the pilots was a KGB officer. At least 2 SVR agents died, presumably from the transported pathogens. When businessman Nikolai Glushkov was appointed as a top manager of Aeroflot in 1996, he found that the airline company worked as a cash cow to support international spying operations. According to Alex Goldfarb, 3,000 people out of the total workforce of 14,000 in Aeroflot were FSB, SVR, or GRU officers. All proceeds from ticket sales were distributed to 352 foreign bank accounts that could not be controlled by the Aeroflot administration. Glushkov closed all these accounts and channeled the money to an accounting centre called Andava in Switzerland. He also sent a bill and wrote a letter to SVR director Yevgeny Primakov and FSB director Mikhail Barsukov, asking them to pay salaries of their intelligence officers in Aeroflot in 1996. Glushkov has been imprisoned since 2000 on charges of illegally channeling money through Andava. Since 2004, the company is controlled by Viktor Ivanov, a high-ranking FSB official who is a close associate of Vladimir Putin. Apparently, I don't know, I can't confirm any of this. This is just what's on Wikipedia, what it shows you here. And then law enforcement. The FBI has acknowledged using at least 3 front companies to conceal their use of aircraft to observe criminal activity in the United States, including FVX Research, KQM Aviation, MBR Aviation, NG Research, PXW Services. Then he goes into organised crime. We don't really need to look at that, do we? And then religion, and a bit about Scientology. I'll leave a link to this anyway. People can go and have a look. Then politics. Communist fronts, United States. It's just politics and stuff. Russia. Other banned paramilitary organisations. So you can pause it and have a look, or you can go back. Corporate front organisations. You can go back and have a look, or you can, what do they call it? And it's about astroturfing again. Right, that's it for this one. Okay, thank you for listening and watching. I might see if I can do another couple of videos tonight. Alright, thank you. Goodbye.